More kitchen stuff from the garden. And just chopping up some peppers. I find if I just cut these up and just put them in little bags, like when I cook, I just pull the bag out of the freezer, throw it in the skillet or whatever, and just cook it up. Now, I wish I could say that I grew these in the garden, but I didn't. I had to buy them in the store. I couldn't find the seeds for this one. The ones I did grow in the garden, bell peppers, been doing great, but until last week I didn't have a single bell pepper grow, which is weird because I should have had, like a month ago, I should have had results. The plant's growing 2 to 3.5, 4 feet tall, but they flower, but just not getting peppers on them. But last week I started getting some peppers. I'm like, oh cool, yay. Half the peppers that were growing just fell off the vine and just rotted away. I'm like disappointed, but it's still trying, so I've got another 8 to 12 weeks for something to grow. They probably won't last that long, but we'll see in another month. They should have some sort of results. These are by the store, which I wish I could grow these. I like these. Buy them at the store. I don't need like 1 or 2 peppers. I don't need to cut up one whole big pepper. Otherwise, I'd have to cut up 3 or 4. Mix them all in like I'm doing here. Which I don't mind. These go great in scrambled eggs or cooking ground beef or whatever you want to throw some veggies in with. These work good. Now these I did grow in the garden. I haven't tried it yet, but hopefully they're not super spicy. Supposedly they are not. But I'll find out when I cook these up in some scrambled eggs tomorrow morning. It'll be interesting. No, I'm not a professional chef. I can't sit there and go, or, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I can't do that. Too worried about cutting my finger off. Just sharpen my knife, go nice and slow. Don't need to cut any fingernails out. That's it. Nice little pieces. That's all it takes. green peppers are in the garden. Other ones store bought. Same thing with the onions. Didn't try onions this year. Didn't have a whole lot of room. Next year, I'll be expanding a little bit, so I might be able to do some onions. Biggest thing next year is growing stuff and timing it so I have stuff for 6 months growing. So the lettuce did good for about 6 weeks growing. It's nice. Go outside, cook a salad, go eat it, had plenty, gave the neighbors some. Green beans did good for about 6 weeks, and then they just kind of slowed way down. They're still growing, but they're not producing like they were. So I think they're about done for the season. It's like last week of July right now. They went out April 15th, so April, May, June, July. So yeah, that's 14 weeks. They're supposed to be done in 12. And then everything else comes in like August 1st is like when everything's supposed to be done. So yeah, hopefully I get to plant something else here next week. Make up my mind what I'm going to be working on. Because right now it's hot. I think that might be affecting how everything's going too. It's been like 99 degrees for the last 2 weeks. Humidity is like 150%. Walk outside, just feel sweaty. And you just walked outside because the humidity's so bad. Feels like you just walked out of the shower kind of thing. That's the weather, man. It happens. Another 6 weeks of that, it'll cool down. It'll be spring-like for about 6 weeks. At least 3. 6 weeks maybe, unless it rains in September. Then it usually cools down a lot. Then October is usually decent for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it starts getting cold around Thanksgiving. Not cold, but like 50 degrees, 40 degrees overnight. Then December starts getting chilly. Then January 1st it's freezing overnight. Get some frost in December, November, maybe. Usually mid-November you worry about frost, so I've got just enough time to grow some more stuff. Try again. Fresh from the garden. Oh, the joys of cutting. It's kind of hard to tell a story while you're sitting here with a knife cutting stuff. I mean, I guess chefs are used to doing it and then doing it. They can talk and chop because they're doing it by feel. They're rubbing the knife off their knuckles somehow. I'm not that confident. My culinary skills are limited to cooking at chopping vegetables 5 minutes at a time. And camera reset. Ta-da! Continuing on. Camera's on. You should still be on. Sit you off to the side. This all back in here. Okay, Mr. Onion. So we want to dice and chop. This happens to be a sweet onion. Not a Vidalia. I had Vidalia all last month. It's awesome. If you like onions on pizza, next time you get a chance to get Vidalia onions, put Vidalia onions on your pizza. You'll love it. If you like regular onions, you'll probably really enjoy Vidalias because they're kind of a sweet taste to them. They don't have that sharp, tangy bit to them. And then your breath doesn't smell like, onions for days. So if you're not a big fan of onions, Vidalias are good ones to try. Other ones, sweet onions are good. Regular yellows tends to be a little tangy for some people, which, they don't mind it. People that like onions. Green onions are pretty passive. Purple onions, they don't have a lot of bite to them, just good flavor. And then all kinds of other onions out there, but then you have garlic, leeks. Leeks are strong. Don't kid yourself. It's like an onion, but it's strong. Little goes a long way. Some people like that. Those people also like onions. Nothing wrong with that. A little strong for my taste. But I like onion for flavor, not onion as an appetizer. I don't need that much flavor. Onions for flavor, not as a main course. Onions go great in everything. Salads, pizza, all kinds of stuff. Ooh, interesting. Pizza. A note on pizza. Pizza's easy to make. That's why it became so popular in what, 1920s or 30s? The whole reason pizza came about. The alcohol establishments needed to sell food to get a liquor license. So, they needed something quick and easy to make. Well, yeah, popcorn, yeah, that's one thing people have modified for. But they actually need to serve meals at certain places. So, what did they do? They came up with pizza. Pizza was originally sold in bars and stuff that, you know, they didn't have a full kitchen. They needed something they could make food because they had to be able to sell food to have a liquor license. Not just beer or whatever, but an actual liquor license. So they started making pizza. Pizza's not hard to make. It's pretty darn basic. They were like, oh, pizza's tight. No, it's not. It was just something quick and easy that they came up with that had some flavor. And the thing is, it caught on. So people like eating pizza. Well, they didn't want to go to the bar to get the damn pizza, so they started having carry out. I'm sure at some point, I don't know when, they probably did delivery for certain people. Yes, Mr. Jones, right away. We'll send that right out to you. So he did. He called, they ordered. They had pickup windows. The whole idea of a pickup window came from where? Places that were serving food, but they didn't want to go in the bar. It's totally separate. Now you got your foot traffic coming in. They're not hanging out. They do the thing. They get their order. They pick up. They go home. And they're not hanging out in the bar. So yeah, you got the pickup window. You got pizza that we know and enjoy now. And then other food. Yeah, people serve burgers, whatever they could. Depends on the size of the kitchen. Well, pizza wasn't that hard to make. You know, they could pre-make just about all of it, throw it in an oven just to cook it. Well, they ran out. They just made more the next morning, frozen, whatever they did. I don't know. They was like, oh, everything's fresh. Well, not everybody made fresh. They made it earlier in the day and they just took it off the rack, threw it in there, and cooked it. They knew they were going to do 20 or 30 a day. They probably set up for 20 or 30, and then all they had to do is add certain toppings. But you could pre-make a pizza an hour or two ahead of the rush, and it's just as good. As long as it's going to dry out. Cover it up, put it in the fridge, whatever. Pull it out, let it warm up a little bit, then throw it in the oven. It'll cook up just fine. Not a problem. I am going to wash this. I guess I'll be using quart bags today because I don't have any others. Probably more than enough. A little overkill. I usually like to use smaller bags, but unfortunately it's all I got. Use a little bit smaller bags. Not sandwich bags, they're smaller than that. Let's say 3x4 size bag, and you can probably put 10 or 12 of them when you fill them up in a gallon bag. That way, you know, the freezer burn doesn't take effect too badly. Can't work under these conditions. It's alright, I'm making it up as I go anyway. Doesn't matter. Maybe about 6 more bags. That's a big scoop. Kind of see that. Put it right in the bag. Another big scoop. Bag. Ta-da! Really? battery on that one. So, okay. I should wrap this up real quick. So the battery's probably about dead on that camera. You should be good. You're plugged in with the wall. You should be fine. Oh, what was I complaining about? Oh, pizza. I do enjoy pizza. Probably be making some pizza dough next. Something for dinner. Along with everything else I'm supposed to be making. Okay, pizza. Pizza as we know it in the United States is not Italian food. Well, people who originally came up with it based it off some ideas from Italian. They made it simple. It's a lot simpler than making a pie that takes an hour.
Master bedroom doesn't support that.
Takes an hour. Hour and 10 minutes to cook, you know. They need something fast, something that, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, you know. So, pizza ovens generally cook about 600 degrees. People cook stuff at home, you know, 350, 400 on high for, you know, whatever, 20, 30 minutes. You know, their frozen pizzas to their liking or whatever. Full booty, whatever. You make your own dough. Dough is easy to make. It's simple. It's not hard. You can make dough out of all kinds of different things. If you're in a hurry, you want something to work now, get an instant mix. You can make your own dough. Like, why would I do that? Well, you know, some people like fresh dough. You know? If it's sticky, make sure you grease the pan really good. That way it doesn't stick when you cook it. Because then when you go to pull it off the pan, but if you're cooking it on the pan the entire time, it'll be done by the time you pull it out. It won't matter. But if you have a pizza stove, there you go. You want your pizzas to come out, I don't care if it's a frozen pizza, fresh pizza, handmade, homemade, however you come about it. Use a pizza stone, crust will be crispier. And it'll also take on flavors of the dough you're using. So as you're cooking on the stone, flavors get it back into the one you're cooking. So yeah, you want to up your pizza game, you're making your own, a pizza stone, make your own at home. That's the two things you can do to have your own kind of pizza. Now, you're like, oh, I need a decent dough recipe. Look at any cookbook. Ready? Any cookbook. And look at 4 or 5 different cookbooks and look at different recipes. The concept of pizza dough is pretty standardized. If you want it to have a certain flavor and you want to use a certain kind of flour and you like semolina better than some sort of rye or whatever, that's up to you. Whatever your personal preference is. Make it how you like it. And if it's absolutely fantastic and all your friends want you to make more on the weekends, okay, maybe you got an idea for a restaurant. But more than likely, if you're making pizza dough, you can make it out of biscuit. You can make it out of pretty much any cookbook. You can get a pizza dough recipe. It's flour, shortening, water, yeast. Now, if you want to skip the yeast, use instant self-rising flour, or you use regular all-purpose flour with some baking powder. It's not as tasty as yeast, but if you don't have 2 hours to let your dough proof and rise, and then separate it out for whatever you need to do, you can make it semi-instantly, you know? You make your dough, roll it on the flour, and roll it out. Get how many ounces you need for a shell. Cut it down, stretch it out, roll it with a pin, put it on your pan, go with that. Nothing wrong with it. And you know what? Whoever's eating it, most people can't tell the difference between whether you let your rise in the oven for a proofer for an hour and a half, 2 hours, or if you just made it and 10 minutes later you're throwing toppings on it. Most people can't tell the difference. Not a problem. Not everybody's that picky. Some people can tell. Some are like, oh, I hate cardboard pizza. Well, anything that comes out of the freezer is cardboard. That's what they call cardboard pizza. It's not all that bad. Some frozen pizzas are actually decent. Let's see. Something probably everyone's had. Red Baron. It's consistent. It's pretty good. The crust is usually about right. I've tried their other things. Was it self-rising crust they had? That was actually pretty good. That's been a while though. Just, yeah, so it's something everybody's had. It's standardized. It's tasty. If you like it, use it. If you want to make it fresh, Chef Boyardee's been making a pizza kit for 50 years. The sauce is kind of easy, but the dough standard. You go to any grocery store, you ask the clerk or whoever, say, hey, do you have pizza dough mixes? Most every grocery store I've been in has it. So, a little mix comes in, you know, that's enough to make one dough for one normal pizza pan that you fit like a frozen pizza on. So we'll say 15-inch pan maybe. And that's good. You have a nice little crust on it, you know. Make sure you grease it good so it doesn't stick. And then just throw your toppings on, get your sauce. Pizza sauce. You can make your own, it's not hard. Puree, a little garlic, a little basil. If you like oregano, throw some oregano in it, or you can leave it out. So basil, garlic, tomato sauce, or puree. Then you add water, get it nice and soupy. Use warm water in it when you're mixing it. You mix it all up, gets nice and liquidy. You stir it in good, so you get garlic, whatever, and if you like pepper, whatever you like in your sauce. Okay, you can make it to your own taste buds once you experiment with it. Little garlic, parsley, basil, can't go wrong. It'll be a little tart, but you know what? It's something to start with. If you like it, use it. If not, add to it, change it. Then what you do after you get your sauce made, stick it in the fridge overnight and use it the next day. Add a little water into it, loosen it up, mix it up so it's nice and sauce. Pour the sauce out. Then you'll probably have enough left over. You can use it again for a third one another night. It's not hard. It's however you like it. So, what do you like about your pizza sauce? Is it straightforward? Is it normal? Do you like it to be spicy? Do you like it sweet? Throw a little sugar in it. Unfortunately, yeah, some people put sugar in their sauces. It's not unheard of. But hey, it gives a little flavor, and people that like a sweeter pizza sauce, throw some sugar in it. I don't know how much, it depends how much you're making, you know. Use half a cup, quarter cup, 1 cup. You're going to turn it into Kool-Aid when you start using cups of sugar, but hey, that's what you like. Make it the way you like it. Try brown sugar. You know what? If you want to be crazy, try molasses. Make it a little sweet. It's something different. And if you're really adventurous, try some honey. I've never done it. I don't really need honey in it, but honey in the dough, that might be interesting. I'm not sure how well that works with yeast. I think it does, because honey's got a lot of natural sugars in it. I might try a dough recipe with honey just to see if it does it. Let me quit touching the table. The camera's moving. So anyways, got all my bags. Kind of went heavy on the last couple, but that's about enough. Throw in your scrambled eggs, 2 eggs, throw that in there. Maybe a little ham or pepperoni or some meat. Let it fry up a little bit and throw your eggs in. Do a little cilantro. Fresh. Make nice scrambled eggs. Heat them up. Throw some cheese on it. Keep talking about food. We'll get hungry. I still got a ton of stuff to do. Okay. That's this 5-minute pizza talk. We'll see what I can complain about later. You know what I ought to do? Fast food test marketing stuff. That's a good story. I can share that one someday. Try that next time.